Hey everyone, thanks for joining me. We've done another look at a complete box game that I got, and now my third from these two. You notice there's a running theme with these, I think. You can guess that. But yeah, this is interesting for a couple reasons. Quest of Key, of course, is a sequel to or a prequel, actually, a prequel to Tower of Duraga. I think of all the Famicom games I've gotten, I've probably spent the single most time with this cartridge. There's something about it. It's very sort of Binding of Isaac-ish, although I've been told that that's not true, but it feels that way to me, like the procedurally generated maps. But that being said, this is a very different style game. It plays a lot more like Major Havoc on the Atari Arcade, if you remember that game, the way you jumped. But also like the art treatment in this game quite a bit. The art style in the game is a fair bit different than the manga style art you get on here, but this is also a really neat. This box is like the plastic clamshell. It's sort of like a book style. It opens the same as a Japanese book does as well, where the front would be where the back cover is on ours. And you'll notice it's also a different size. In fact, even the Chemical one is a different size to the original cardboard boxes. I understand that Nintendo sort of wanted to standardize these a bit more. And Namco was one of the first third parties on Famicom, and they sort of rankled against that a bit. So that's why they're also one of the first third parties on the PC Engine. So this is from 1988, roughly, I think, 1988. So we got the plastic clamshell Genesis-style cover case. The cartridge fits in this little sort of plastic bracket type thing. This is the third time I've bought in this game, you know. The original video I did was just a cartridge that didn't have an end label. And then I bought one with an end label and sold off that original cartridge. And now I bought it again, complete in box. So this is the third time I bought in this game. I got this sort of interesting way to keep in the paperwork. There's no registration card. Maybe there was one originally. There would have been a card. There would have been a sticker board with this because the labels didn't come on the cartridge already. They came with, you know, a pack, like a thing with three of them. Like one just had the name of the game, one was blank, so you could write in your name, and then one with the art. So that's why I see a lot of the Namco cartridges. You don't always see end labels on them, or you might see different end labels. That's the reason why, because they didn't come with end labels stuck on automatically. And then the instruction manual and your Namco information. This is actually kind of neat, because you can sort of see where Namco was at this point in the Famicom life cycle. They were kind of done with a lot of their classic arcade conversions, so they were doing newer stuff. Some of the stuff I'm not super familiar with, but you can sort of see action RPG stuff going on here. On the back, this is super interesting just because you can see the prices roughly converted. You know, it's about 50 bucks, 40 bucks, roughly. Like the 100 yen to $1 conversion is sort of held true. So if you ignore inflation, cartridge game prices are still roughly the same, maybe just $10 less or so than they are now. There's that golf game that you see quite a bit. Star Wars, is that? Yeah, that's the Star Wars, Namco Star Wars game. If I can focus that in, that'd be really neat. Yeah, so that's Star Wars. I think that's the Action RPG, CBS. Yeah, so a lot of these aren't as well known as sort of the Namco classics would be, but this is what they were doing at the time. And here's our instruction manual, which again, I love seeing the art treatments they do for these, because the art in the game is obviously quite a bit different, a lot bit more crude, but I really love this era of Japanese anime and manga style art. Telling the story of the game, of which, you know, I still think Ishtar is not a very good goddess, and she sent in Key with literally no weapon to face up against. This is what she's going to face. She went to go get the crystal rod back from this tower, the demon Duraga. And as you can guess, being a prequel, she didn't turn out, the mission didn't go so well. But like I said, the actual gameplay plays a lot like Major Havoc on the Atari. And there's no dedicated, like there's a run button, kind of like Mario, and the jump button. The enemies of the game. The power-ups. So that's the warp. Like if you go through, like there's 60 floors in this game, the main game, but if you use all the warps, it won't take you more than 10 levels to finish the whole thing. But that's where things get interesting. After floor 60, it goes. You see the credits and then the title screen. If you click continue, you get set to 461. So actually what I'm going to show you right now is a bit of the game after you beat the game, just to show you how weird Namco got with the later levels. So hold on for a second. So I thought it'd be fun to show off what happens after you beat the game and you get past 460. If we continue on the title screen, it takes you to 461. And here we're on 462 because I wanted to show off the newer enemies like the Pac-Man ghost you see up there. This is the floors after 60 are really tough. I gotta get past this one. Oof. Oh, you got me. Oh, that's too bad. Yeah, I thought it'd be fun. Like this game really gets going after you beat the game, really, and it's fun. It's neat. Like I said, I think anyone who really liked Major Havoc on the Atari arcade would probably should check this game out. It's really clever and very difficult. And like I said, there are warps to get you through the game in the first batch, but there are wrong way warps in this part of the game, so you can get sent back to 461, which is pretty rough business. Anyway, thanks for checking this out with me, and actually, let's see what the next stage is. But yeah, thanks for checking this out with me, and like I said, I think if you can check this game on emulation or anything like that, I think it's worth doing. I don't know if that's supposed to be the Dig Dug guy, but I know that they're in here, like the Pooh cars from Dig Dug. Yeah, like I said, thanks for checking this out, and I'll catch you next time. Cheers.